Alright, so we're going into part 13 now. We're really getting near the end. In this part we're going to be adding the pebbles that we made and the plants that we made into the scene. Oh, and the trees and the rocks. We're just filling up the the rest of it in order to then be prepared to do some lighting and compositing. Okay, so let's get rid of this. We don't need that. What we're going to do is go over to our little garden thing over here, and I'm going to get all the rocks together like that. Just select every single one of them and then hide them because we don't want them at the moment. And also going to hide all our little dead tree friends here, and these trees, just hide them. And with these plants, we can press A to select them all, press Control G, and in this name of the group we're going to call them plants. And over in this here we're going to group all of these together and call them pebbles. Have we actually given these official names? No. Okay, so it's best to name them, that way when you're looking at the outliner you know what object is what. So I don't know if it's like some OCD I have or something, but I just like to name all the objects. So that's pebble 4 and this is pebble 5. Okay, and alright, now we're going to go back over to the ground. What we're going to do is using well, usually I would use weight paint to make up a path, but because I want to be very efficient with the amount of particles I use, because in my final scene, the one I uploaded to YouTube, and the one that you've probably been seeing at the beginning of all these videos is that had plants everywhere apart from the path, but now I want to be more efficient and have them everywhere apart from the path and the bits that are off the camera. So in edit mode, I'm going to press C to get my circle select tool, and I'm just going to click and drag over where I want my path to be, and just over here. Okay, and then over here it's going to be, of course, branching out. Okay, so just over there, and then just like that. Okay, and if we press escape now, look at it from camera view. Okay, it's going to need a bit more, a bit of an extension onto that, and a bit of an extension onto that. Can't harm either. Excuse me. Okay, so right, that's my pathway sorted out. So now when we go, we're going to add a vertex group, and this is going to be called path, and we're going to assign that. And now we're going to press Control I to select everything else. Then in camera view we're going to press B, and while holding the middle mouse button we are just going to deselect these areas where that aren't on the camera, because otherwise just random plants are going to be there and we don't want that. So okay, so I'm going to call this plant area. So just add this in, plant area, like that. Assign that. Okay, so now we're ready to get into the particles. So we're going to add in a new particle system. It's going to be hair, and this is going to be called pebbles and pebbles, because first of all we're going to add the pebbles. Okay, so I'm going to go into advanced settings, and if we go down to render and go to group and then choose pebbles like that, you can see they're pretty big. If we tick rotation, then we can do that thing that we did with when we were doing particle systems earlier to make some of the plants. Just press R, Y, and 90, and then they'll all just flip round to provided you've got the median point in individual origins. That's not essential, by the way. You can have it anywhere, just as long as they're rotated on the y-axis by 90 degrees. Then now you can see that they are nicely just rotated onto the terrain or the floor, whatever you want to call it. Okay, so now I'm going to go to vertex groups and choose path, and they're looking a bit big, obviously, so I'm going to set the size down to 0.005. So now they're tiny. And you can see they're sort of forming these nice orderly rows. We can change that by coming up here and pressing random. And let's change the number all the way up to 30,000. That's a lot of pebbles. Might just increase the random size to 0.5 or something, and bring the size down just a bit, like 0.003. So they're tiny, and but there's lots of them. Okay, and now just to keep my computer performing well, I'm just going to set the display down to 5. That won't affect the render at all. It just affects what I actually see in the 3D viewport. And now over here we're going to add another particle system, and these are going to be called plants. Okay, and plants here. Again, it's going to be set to hair, and again we're going to go down to vertex groups, but this time I'm going to choose plant area, so now they're everywhere but the path. And if we go to advanced settings, go to I remember that. What am I on about now? Go to group and choose plants. And now, there we go. Took a while to load, but we now have our plants. But they are killing my computer. So we're going to go down to display and set this to 5, like that. And then we're going to go over to maybe even less, just 1%. And we're going to go over to where our plants are, which is over here, and rotate them on the y-axis by 90 degrees. And that way, when we go back over here, you won't see anything change, but when we tick rotation, they're now nicely where they should be. Now we just need to increase the size, like so. Okay, maybe if we do display all of them just for now. Okay, we might be able to get a good depiction of it. Right, I think maybe we need to change the proportions a bit, so, and 1000 might be a bit too much, so just 700. See how that looks. Okay, and yeah, we're getting too many of these sort of garden bush things, so the way we're going to change that is to go to the display, just set that back to 1, and then under render we're going to go to use count, and for every, wait, why is it empty there? Never mind. For every, hang on, yeah, we shouldn't have the empty in that group. I was just putting some of the plants as empties, which is not good. So right, this empty, that's going to leave the plants group. Okay, and now go back over here. Right, for every, you know, we've got all these shrubs, like shrub 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and all that stuff. So what we're going to do is go and just, with everything else, just bring this up to 3 or something. So yeah, so everything but the shrubs. So the grassy plants, the grassy leafy plants, everything. So everything but the shrubs, we're just going to bring that up to 3. Okay, so these, yep, these, and where are we now? Alright. And the reason why I'm doing this, and what this does, it basically means for every, you know, 3 of everything, you get, you know, a shrub. Well, that's not the exact algorithms or the proportions or anything, but basically, you know, if you were to get all of these plants, for every 3 of every single one apart from the shrubs, you'd get 1 of every shrub, if that makes sense. So, and that basically just means that there'll be less shrubs than everything else, which is what we're sort of wanting, because the shrubs just take up a lot of space, really. And okay, now it's better, I suppose. Oh, we're also going to want to check random, so they don't start forming nice little orderly rows. Okay, and let's just change the size down to 0.1. Okay, and also what I'm going to do is go to the plants again, and with the shrubs selected, I'm just going to make them a bit smaller, because I think they're making the rest of the they're getting a bit too big. So if I make them smaller, then that means, you know, to scale with the other plants, they're okay. Right, so that's not looking too bad. If I just bring back my trees and my lights, and Now let's just give this a little render to see how it's looking. Uh, okay, render. It should be looking okay. Now this is going to take quite a while to render, so I'm going to pause. Okay, that's looking. Oh, well, it's looking all right. Yeah, we've got some nice lighting effects going around, but I think generally it's kind of a dark scene because these pebbles just look like these very small grey blobs, and while they are, they've got grey textures on them, it's also to do with the fact that the lighting is too weak. So just yeah, I'm just going to select the ground, and just with the ground selected, I'm just going to play around. Just set the display down to 1 for the plants, and what I'm going to do is with the light just set this to the energy of like 1.5 or something, and that way that should look better. And instead of just re-rendering now, because I sort of trust myself a bit too much to doubt myself, so I'm going to get my rocks back, which are, oh yeah, hidden in this layer. So yeah, I'm going to get the rocks and the dead trees over. So in fact, how about we hide these again? Okay, and then just get these plants. Hide the empty, and I'm going to get these plants, move them down like that, and then unhide the rest of the stuff, and then hide these big trees like that. And now with these, what I'm going to do is just duplicate these, and then move them over to the 3rd layer, and then move these back up again. So whatever. I mean, yeah, our little garden thing's already been a bit ruined, but it was nice for the time when we had it. Okay, so let's just get everything back now. The proportions are looking a bit messed up, so I'm gonna just get all my rocks selected. Let's go to this layer here. Wait, where's that empty? Yeah. Right, I'm gonna get all my rocks like this, and my empty, and scale them down. That way, the rocks, because if I just scale down the rocks individually, the texture will lose quality. Just like if I scale it up, then the texture looks too, the texture sort of changes with the, like if I scale this up, then the objects aren't affected by it enough, and the texture's not big enough for them. If I scale it, or small enough for them, whatever, if I scale it down, then they get too strange. So you have to scale the rocks down with the empty. So okay, let's just maybe make them a bit bigger. Okay, like that. Yes, something like that will work nicely. And I'm just gonna grab these and then preview the rest of the scene like that. Okay, oh no, they're too big again. Right, so where's our empty here? There we go. Just scale it down. Alright, that's not looking too bad. So let's just position these, just just sort of along the side of the path, like that. Okay, and don't worry about plants overlapping them or whatever, because if it does happen, it's not really too easy to see. I'm going to put a rock sort of in this little gap over here, and another rock to go over here. I think that's it. Oh, we've got this other rock just sitting over here doing nothing. Let's move that way back. So go there. And move it down. Right, there we go. So now, if we bring back all of this stuff. Oh yeah, I also need to move these trees around, which are also just enormous. So, okay. Let's preview this layer only, and then scale them down, because they don't need to be that big at all really. They're just like these sort of things that are just there. Okay, and let's move these around. So this one is probably the most interesting tree because it's ugly as hell. So yeah, let's just have that at the front and rotate it around. And with this one just rest here, and then this other one that's run away somewhere. Here it is. This can just be here. Okay, and that way, yeah, that's just filled up the scene even further, and that should look quite nice. So now if we give this another render, it should look okay. Alright, so okay, so it's looking alright, but I think maybe these pebbles, they're just, yeah, I think the colours aren't that great. I mean, they're just grey, but if I adjust the angle of the lighting so that it's more of a sort of midday like that, that might help it out a bit. Also, with the lighting, in fact no, I'll do that later actually, because that's sort of a compositing thing. But yeah, I'm going to go to the pebbles and sort of fix out these materials a bit. So I'm going to separate them and call make them pebbles 5 and pebbles 4 and all that stuff, and pebbles 3. And what we're going to do is with this, I'm just doing this so I can then get a nice, more colourful textures rather than grey things on them. So yeah, that would just work nicely. So that's going to be pebbles 5 colour. Okay, and the texture for this will be, let's go for brown dirty. Okay, that's got a nice colour to it. Maybe even give it a bit of a bump. Oh, it's already got bump maps, that's good. This can have just hang on, that's weird. Okie dokie. Wait, why is, oh right, yeah, I'm gonna set this to rock 4 again. Oh, sorry, rock 3. There we go. And then just press this 3 here, and then change that to pebbles 4. Because I didn't just make sure that's the same for everything. Right. Yeah, okay, that's good. That's good. Right, yeah. Sorry about that. I forgot to press the to separate the texture, so I just accidentally renamed it and everything. So, okay. The material for this will be, of course, pebbles 4 color, and we just, how about we get warm with crevices? Okay, yeah, that looked good, I think. I hope. Rock, sorry, pebbles. Pebbles 3. I can't count today either. Well, I'm running out of abilities. Okay, so pebbles 3. That's just gonna have very mossy is quite colourful. Let's go for that. And right then, not bad. We now go for this. We press this 2. Pebbles 2. Oh, hang on. Pebbles 2 col. And let's also add in a, of course, a new texture, new colourful one. That's not particularly colourful. Brown with freckles. There we go. And then this one over here. Pebbles 1. And again, we're going to need a new image, so let's go for smooth brown. Okay, and that should have just changed the color of the pebbles, and they should now look a bit less grey and boring. So now one more render should finish the whole thing, and then we can get into the last part. Well, maybe, yeah, the last part of the compositing and lighting, because this part has already gone on for long enough. So let's just see this render out, and I'll be pausing this. Alright, so the pebbles are now looking a lot more, they're less boring, but the plants might need a bit of adjusting. and maybe a few other things as well. But generally it's coming along okay. I'm going to need to just, yeah. So what I'm going to do is, over with these, the plants, what I'm going to do is just come up, yeah, here we go. And we're going to set the size just up to like a 0.15, like that. And the random size up to a 0.3. Okay, and that would just get things looking a bit better. And let's also increase the number to 1000, 1200. And even though it's going to be very, very dense, I've recently been told by the Martian stories that rainforests are very, very dense, much more dense than what I had, and I only had 1000 plants, and that was everywhere, so trying from 1300 might be a bit more fair. Okay, so I'm going to give this one more render and see how that looks. Alright then, so this is a good improvement. It's now a lot more dense, so that shouldn't really be a problem. And it's all sort of coming together nicely now. I might just maybe fit around with the lighting. In fact, nah, I'm not going to bother with that. Okay, so yeah, as I was saying, it's looking good. There's a few adjustments I'm going to make in, because I've decided the next part, lighting and compositing, and then after that I'm going to do just fixing up a few things over everything, if that makes sense. So, okay, so that's looking good. I think we're nearly, yeah, we're nearly done. So this part is finishing after half an hour or something. Oh no, just 20 minutes, but you know. So yeah, thanks for watching. Please do watch the next part. We're almost at the end of this. Why stop now? So yeah, thanks for watching and goodbye.